Hey collectors, welcome to Star Wars Collected. I'm Jonathan. If you're new here, I hope you consider sticking around by subscribing. If you've been here before, I hope you smash that like button harder than a Hammerhead Corvette into the side of a Star Destroyer. What we have for you today is a Sideshow piece. We have the 1/6 scale Han Solo in Carbonite. Plus we have a bunch of stuff to talk about, guys. Can't wait to get into it with you guys. Let's do it. So while I'm opening this, why don't we talk about a couple housekeeping items here. The channel just hit its 1-year anniversary on May 4th, which was incredible. You guys got me to over 1,500 subscribers, and actually today I think I hit 1,600 subscribers. That's incredible. You guys are amazing. I'm so excited and just humbled that any of you guys watch my stuff, let alone that many of you are as well. You may have already seen a video that I put out on Instagram. If you follow me on here, you should definitely be following me on there as well. Kind of about it. You might be looking at me and going, is that Obi-Wan Kenobi? Is that Ewan McGregor right there in front of me? No, this is actually my COVID beard. I had COVID. It was not a big deal at all for me. I've done everything I'm supposed to do up to this point. So I just kept not testing negative. So I kind of got locked away for a little while, and my inner Tatooine hermit came out in the form of a beard. So this probably will not make it all the way to Celebration, but I thought I would at least address the Wookiee in the room here. So what we have is the Sideshow Han Solo in Carbonite 1/6 scale piece. This is a piece I've wanted for a long time. I do have a representation of Han Solo in Carbonite in a Gentle Giant piece, but you know, someday I'd love to have the life-size one with all the lights and stuff like that. Gentle Giant makes another standalone version of this, which goes quite well with their items. But I kind of wanted the Sideshow one, and you know, pricing just wasn't there for a long time to me. What I was willing to pay, and but you know what, the council looked favorably upon me and decided that it was time, and I found a good price here on eBay. So you know, box is in okay condition, nothing great, but that's okay with me. We have some display instructions here with all kinds of information about how to pose it, and there's swappable floor decors, and actually a lot of stuff that I was not aware of. There's some battery panels, all kinds of cool stuff here. So we'll check it out in here. So this is coming pre-owned, so the seal's already broken on it. That's okay with me. Oh my, okay. So I'm just gonna look it over here real quick. Everything looks in pretty good condition. Maybe a couple scratches here on this base, but nothing doesn't look even out of universe, quite honestly. So we'll pull this up here, and you can sort of see the Best Spin inspired pieces here. I noticed that when I bringing it up, that this panel seems to slide in and out, so you can kind of decide whether you want it to be lit up white or amber in color. A lot of cool detail on here. It's a very nice looking base. I kind of wish they would do this for more of the 6 scale pieces. You know, sometimes Sideshow gives you a great base, other times not so much. It is almost weird to think about this as kind of a 6 scale figure, which is in a lot of ways what it is, but it kind of seems like it's a statue too. I guess because it lacks the posability that we're accustomed to. So I'm going to display him first standing up, I think. I think that makes the most sense. So here's a look at our guy here, all frozen. Got a couple styrofoam little doodads floating around here. Quite lightweight, honestly. A little bit lighter weight than I was expecting. Definitely, you know, in some ways I was kind of thinking, again, like a statue. Statue's usually polystone. It makes it pretty heavy. But this is definitely not all that heavy of a piece. So much static electricity. So you have 2 display options. You can put this fork into the base and display it flat as if it was a slab going through Cloud City or being loaded onto Slave 1, or you can do the upright, which I think is what we're going to do here today. We have all kinds of little instrument panels. Those of you who know your Star Wars history, you'll know that this actually comes out of a Volvo. It's some sort of Volvo gauge cluster. So as a Star Wars lover and a car lover, that is a cool piece of trivia in my opinion. And these are nearly all identical. There are some slightly different decal applications. This has got like a little red piece on it. This sort of has a little white piece on it. And these are sort of in different spots and places here and there. It looks like there's maybe 2, 3 different kinds. And then there's a piece here with a battery pack, which is much more advanced. Has an on and off switch on here. Little panel, which looks very cool. So I will have to get some batteries here so we can see it in its full glory. And I like that there's actual like metal handles on this. That's a nice touch. This is the carbon chamber piece. You can remove that, you can flip that over. And then this is the Bespin hallway piece. Now, this is interesting. I did not know this until I just picked this up. I always wondered why some of them seem to have one base, some of them seem to have another base. I just assumed that it was maybe one was released before a different one was, or one was the exclusive version or something like that. For right now, I think I'm gonna go with the carbon base. Put this back in here. This box is labeled number 8. And it goes up here. So if I was designing this, then I would make this 7. And that also snaps in magnetically. This is 5. 6. 3. 1. I have a 5 here. This is 2. So did I put the wrong one in over here? That's a 5. I have 2 5s. I don't know why. Maybe someone lost one before and I got to replace it. That was also a 5. Okay, so those panels are all installed now. And I'm realizing now that I installed this one upside down. Okay, and I'm going to take it off of this stand. We'll swap it out for this stand, a little more upright. And there we go. It's got the magnet in the back, which keeps it nice and sturdy. Looking very cool, very nice. Now what would be kind of cooler to me would be is if it was able to display this kind of free floating. If it could display it, you know, a couple inches off the base, that would make it even cooler to me. But I think this looks very nice as it is. And I'm very happy to have a Han Solo frozen in Carbonite in my collection in this scale too, which is a good scale. There is a premium format version of this as well. I don't know how much more you get out of a frozen slab having him in quarter scale. I think my only thing that I would do is I would love to do a life-size version of this at some point. It just has such presence, and I think it lends itself well to a DIY project. And now that I have a 6-scale version of it, that'll make it actually much easier, I think, to kind of figure out dimensions and things of that nature when I go to build my own. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some batteries real quick. We'll pop in the side, and we'll see what this little side panel here does when we do that. All right, collectors, this is pretty simple. There's just a little battery pack here, and it has 3 AAA batteries inside of it, and an on and off switch. So you just pop them in there and screw it back down. I like little features like this, although I don't tend to keep the batteries in it because I'm afraid it's going to corrupt. In some ways, I wish you could plug things in more, although I know that causes its own issues with having to route cables and stuff. So what do you guys think? Do you prefer something that's battery powered if it was a statue like this, or would you prefer to be able to plug this in and maybe when you hit a light switch, all of your collectibles light up? I'm kind of torn. So this is actually really cool though. When I hit the on switch on here, it actually lights up in a pretty cool way. And you can see the numbers on there and the little panel glowing and all kinds of cool stuff. So pretty cool little feature, I think. So we'll slide this back in. It actually kind of fit in there a little bit better when I put it in upside down at first. And there you go. Now it's installed in the side there. Looking very cool, very official, very real. Of course, the obvious thing that you'd like to see on this collectible would be You know, each one of these panels are wired and each one lights up, you know, at least as accurately as would be. But you know, it's a cool little feature to at least have it on the one. So, you know, not a lot to talk about with this guy because there aren't a lot of posability pieces and things like that. It does use a magnet in the back here, so you can kind of adjust exactly how it sits on this base. And the base itself, like I said earlier, it is a very nicely done base. A lot of really good detail in there. Guys, this is where we're going to leave it today. A little bit of a shorter one, but there is so much content coming, okay? We have Celebration coming up, depending on when you're watching this video. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Celebration before we get there. We're going to talk about Obi-Wan. I've got some Obi-Wan collectibles that you've seen, some you haven't seen. I also owe you guys an entire collection tour. That's normally what I do on May 4th. So that's coming up too. Of course, I'm going to be at Celebration, so I'm going to be covering that for you guys. And I'm going to be at the Disney park. So I'm going to be going through Galaxy's Edge and all the merchandise that's there. And I'm bringing extra suitcases. And then we're going to have things to talk about and look at for days, literally probably for months. So, and plus, like I said, I've got a whole stack of boxes behind the camera right now of cool things that I want to show you guys. So make sure you subscribe so that you can follow along and you won't miss any of that stuff. And plus, like I said, follow me on Instagram because I'm always throwing out, there was like a really good deal on some lightsabers that I picked up on May 4th. Actually, that's a great thing. Hop down in the comments, let me know what you picked up on May 4th that you're excited about. I'd love to hear it. I actually struggled a little bit to find anything, but then on May 5th, I visited a favorite website of mine and they had a 20% off deal going on. And I picked up 2 lightsabers at an amazing price, and I'm super excited about, and I can't wait to bring that to you too. So lots of cool stuff coming up. Guys, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. We'll see you.